Welcome, everybody, to the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast. We've got 4 NHL games tonight. I'm going to tell you exactly how to bet each and every one of them. If you've never seen this show before, normally Matthew Barnaby is my co-host. He played 14 years in the NHL. He's got a big personality, and he has incredible insights when it comes to hockey betting. With that said, no Matthew today. He's in Moncton, New Brunswick. He's filming a commercial. The man is highly sought out, and the commercial got delayed. So he's not going to be on the show today, but that is okay. When this happens, I go through every single game on the board. We got the great Andrew McInnis joining us later on in the show to give out some prop bets. And if you want to hear Andrew's thoughts on all the NHL games, tune into Puck Time at 11 a.m. Eastern on WagerTalk TV, or of course you can check it out later once it is up on our YouTube channel. Let's get into the first game on the board. The New Jersey Devils playing the Carolina Hurricanes. And me and my clients were on Carolina last week in the game one. It cashed easy 4-1. This Carolina team had 45 shots on goal against New Jersey, which is unbelievable. New Jersey with 24 shots on goal. Look, Carolina is much better than New Jersey, and I think they get the series done in about 5 games. I think they win tonight. The problem here is, how do you bet them? Minus 275 is way too high for me. Minus 1.5 plus 110 feels like the right bet for me if I was to take a side. And I do like the side, and I think Carolina will win this game roughly around the same score, so 4-1. So minus 1.5 plus 110. But I actually really like the New Jersey team total under 2.5 as well. I don't think they score more than 2 goals all series long. So I like Carolina minus 1.5 plus 110, and I like New Jersey under the 2.5. Without Jack Hughes, this New Jersey team is just not the same. And, you know, they came into these playoffs struggling as well. No reason to think they found their way. And this Carolina team is such a veteran hockey team. Take Carolina minus 1.5. Take New Jersey under team total. Next up is the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as you know, if you're watching Blue Line or any show that I'm on, I bleed blue. I'm a big-time Toronto Maple Leaf fan, and I think they get it done tonight. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of homer talking, but here is the bottom line. This Toronto team didn't even play well in the first game. They got outshot by Ottawa 33-24. This Toronto team does not allow 33 shots on a regular basis. Granted, many were from outside. And frankly, Stolarz let in a super soft first goal. I think this Toronto team played a bad game one. I think they play much better today. Now, I don't think they win this game 6-2. I think we're going to get Ottawa at their absolute best tonight. I just don't think it's going to be good enough. Minus 185 on the money line for Toronto. Parlay that with Carolina if you want, or take Toronto in regulation. I don't think we're going to see a lot of overtime games in the series, and I just don't think these two teams compare in any way. I don't think there's one area that Ottawa is better than Toronto at. They're not better first line, second line, third line, fourth line. They're not better defensively, first line, second line, third line. I don't think Linus Ullmark is better than Stolarz, maybe over his career because Stolarz is so new. But Stolarz is coming in to the playoffs with the number 1 goal save percentage in the entire league, better than Vasilevsky. He's got the 3rd highest goals against. And on top of that, Toronto's defense is amazing. This Toronto defense is totally overlooked. I get it. All they want to talk about are their forwards and how good, Matthews, Nylander, Marner, JT. This team is built from their net out, not their forwards back. One of the best goalies in hockey, one of the best defenses in hockey, one of the lowest goals against in hockey. And they're veteran. This team understands what it means to lose in the playoffs. They know the importance of this game. And we saw what Ottawa did in game one. They played undisciplined hockey. They came out flying. They tried to do too much. Tim Stutzler is not a body checker. He's a scorer. Next time you might want to remember that. I don't think this Ottawa team is ready for prime time. I don't think the series is going more than 6, and I think it might be 5. Take Toronto tonight in regulation. Quick sip of the coffee. That is good coffee. How do you like your coffee? This one's got 2 cream, 1 sugar. I came 18th in the World Series of Poker circuit event in Toronto. We spoke about that yesterday. I made $19,000. The whole series was incredible. I played 3 big tournaments. I came second in the 600 event. I min-cashed the mystery bounty, and I came 18th in the main event. I spent $4,000. I brought home $64,000. You got to be happy with that type of a week. Now we got Florida playing Tampa Bay, and I'll tell you guys, I think Tampa Bay will win the series. This Tampa Bay team is amazing. I know, Florida is too, and they got all their big guns coming back. They expect Kachuk to play tonight. Ekblad is back. This team is loaded, rocking and rolling. But I just have a feeling that Tampa Bay is going to get it done. And if they're going to get it done, they've got to win a game like tonight. They're minus 115. Both these teams have been sitting around for a while. I think that it is a short price here for a home team in the playoffs. I understand Florida is the Stanley Cup champ. I don't think this is the same Florida team as last year. I think there's something missing on this team. I don't know what. And I think the best player on the ice is Kucherov. The best goalie on the ice is Vasilevsky. And the best coach is John Cooper. With that said, shout out to Barkov and Kachuk and Bobrovsky and Paul Maurice, because they're all exceptional. But I think Tampa Bay gets it done tonight, minus the 115. And lastly, we got Vegas playing Minnesota, and my original thought was that Minnesota had a shot in the series. This Minnesota team only put 20 shots on Vegas, and that's where I'm going here, because Vegas only put 26 up on Minnesota. I like under the total tonight, guys. It's 5.5. These two teams played to the under all year. Minnesota 36, 43, and 4 to the under. Vegas 38, 41, and 4 to the under as well. 5.5 is too many points. It almost got under in the last game. So I like under 5.5. That's it for all 4 games. I'll give you my show best bet and Matthew Barnaby's 3 plays right after Andrew McInnis comes on. Andrew, welcome to the Blue Line. Pleasure having you, my brother. Andrew, we need volume. Here we go.
You don't have me?
Yeah, we got you. What's up?
Here.
Yep.
Yeah, good to be here as always, Prez. Good morning, man. What a night it was last night. We didn't have any overtime so far in the NHL. We got a couple overtimes, and that Edmonton game was unbelievable. I mean, you thought they were out. You thought they were out. They come back, and the second they come back, they go down once again. But, of course, that's in the past. We have some games and some plays for tonight.
Yeah, and you're right. That Edmonton game, my God, dude, 2 goal, a tying goal with 1:40 to go, and then a game winner with 47 seconds and a fluke sort of missed shot goal that went in. Incredible goal. But, from a betting perspective, let's talk about this quick. Does it bode well for Edmonton that they showed the moxie to make that comeback, or does it bode well for the LA Kings that they allowed that comeback and still were, manned up and got the job done?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think sometimes it can be a little bit of both, because it can be kind of discouraging for the team that came back, as you said there, Prez. You know what? I said it on the Blue Line when I was on with you and Matthew on Friday, and I'll stand by it again. I think the fact that they were able to get home ice, this LA team, it was an advantage for them. Having that last change, coming out on top, coming out early like that, I thought that it was a good thing for them. Sure, Edmonton was able to give themselves confidence, but Prez, they look like the old Edmonton. When I first met you and you and I started talking hockey for the first time together, on Puck Time, all we would talk about it's Leon and Connor and nobody else. And last night, it kind of felt like that again.
Yeah.
Leon, and then who the hell else is out there for the Oilers?
Yeah. Guys, if you don't mind taking a second and hitting that like button, I forgot to ask at the top of the show, and I really need it. We need it. Also, if you watch the show on streaming podcasts, podcast streamers, please review the show. Write something small, just, great show. Love what you guys are doing, that type of thing. And make comments on our YouTube channel. This stuff is so crucial to us. Andrew, Montreal Canadiens last night, similar to the Edmonton Oilers, they made a nice comeback, and a really nice comeback. It looked good. And then they really had a brain cramp there. There was just no reason for Ovi to be that open, standing alone in front of the net in that type of a situation. I don't know specifically who was on the ice at the time, but something went wrong in that overtime. But with that said, kudos to Montreal. I feel like they probably are coming into game 2 with some confidence. They know they can hang with this team. They started off really badly and then sort of settled into the game. I think we're going to see a better Montreal team next game, but I'll tell you, Andrew, I think we're going to see a better Washington team next game too. And I know you're a Montreal fan. I'm worried that might be their best game of the series.
Well, it's tough because a lot of people were saying that's a winnable game. And when you're the 8th seed and you have a chance, you have to win those types of games, as you mentioned there, Prez. I think for about 45 minutes in that game, we saw Montreal getting bullied. And a lot of fans are calling for Arbor Xhekaj, the tough defenseman, to get put into the lineup because it seemed like it was just kind of boys against men. But once that physicality started to go down a bit, I mean, you asked me the question, does the late comeback for the Oilers help them and their mentality? I think it helps the Canadiens a hell of a lot more than it helps the Oilers, because the fact that the Canadiens didn't get shut out, the fact that they were one goal away, one shot away, I think it makes it a hell of a lot more interesting. But to your point, the Capitals will not be happy with that third period, and they still escape with the victory. As a Canadiens fan, I'll tell you, it just pissed me off to see Ovechkin be the guy. Like, anybody but him, please. Anybody but that guy. He scores 2 goals. And the worst part is he barely even moves anymore. Like, he just stands in that one spot for all his power play goals. And that's how he scores. Makes it look way too easy. It's bothersome.
Andrew McInnis, we got to get going, bro. Give us some prop bets.
All right, Prez, we got some point props. We have some assist props, some anytime goals. We'll get right into it here. The first one's going to be Taylor Hall for the Carolina Hurricanes, over 1.5 shots on goal. 5 straight games versus the New Jersey Devils. He's hit this prop. You mentioned it earlier on in the show. 45 shots for Carolina in their first game of this series. And I'll tell you what, I mean, the blue liners are just getting banged up for the New Jersey Devils. I mean, we saw Brendan Dillon get injured a little bit. I think he's kind of like questionable for tonight's game. We saw Luke Hughes get injured for the New Jersey Devils. So we're seeing so many injuries, and whether or not these guys are going to play or not, the blue line is just not healthy. And to be honest, I think if the Devils are going to try and have a fight in this series, it'll be when they go back home, because Carolina is so strong. So over 1.5, minus 120. You got to love getting a 1.5 number at minus 120. How about an anytime goal prop? Okay. This Carolina team is known for being relatively low scoring, and they're also known for having spread out scoring. So because of that, you get really good prices on their best goal scorers. They scored 4 goals in game 1. Sebastian Aho didn't get 1 point. We're going to go plus 185 Sebastian Aho, anytime goal. That's a nice price, and to me, that's worthy of sprinkling here. Going to the Maple Leafs game. Look, I think that a lot of what you said there is completely true. I do think that the power plays played a huge impact, and they capitalized on all their chances. 5-on-5 play, we did see a lot of shots, but they were all from the outside. To your point, they didn't make the Stolars work very hard. But Brady Tkachuk, over 3.5 shots on goal, minus 115. He had 5 shots in game 1. But this is what you got to look at. When you guys are looking at shots on goal props, you have to look at the attempts. He had 12 shot attempts in game 1. So it's not like he had 5 shots on goal and then 6 attempts. He had 12 shot attempts. We're going to take that again. Over 3.5 shots on goal. Brady Tkachuk. Love that one right there. And I know this is kind of a bad price here, Prez. You and I have talked about it before, but I got to go with it. Austin Matthews, plus 120. Anytime goal scorer. Everybody scored a goal but him in game 1. All right? Like, Nyes, Nylander, Marner, even Riley scored a goal. They all scored but him, so we'll take that one. I'm also going to take, this is just a trend pick, I'm going to take Batherson to record a point, -130. 8 straight games against Toronto with a point for him. I think Batherson was probably the best Ottawa Senator. He was the only one that played his game, not like Stützle, who tried to break the hits record in one game instead of actually being a regular player. So, excuse me, I didn't really like the game from a lot of other Senators players, but Batherson seemed good. And, when you see a trend like 8 straight games, you don't really ignore it. Excuse me. When you look at the next game, Tampa Bay and Florida, man, I can't wait for this series to finally start. I mean, Toronto and Ottawa are playing their second game of their series. And of course, this is only game 1 for Florida and Tampa Bay. We're going to go ahead and take Jake Gensel +185 anytime goal prop. To me, this is just way too high of a price. We've got to take advantage of it for a guy I think that gets forgotten about. Guys like Brandon Hagel, guys like Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point, they've been so good for Tampa. But of course, this is a guy that just got traded back or got signed with this team in the offseason, and he's a great player for them, a superstar, +185. We're going to take Brad Marchand anytime point at +145. +145. This is how you know Florida's a deep team, because it's +145 for him to just get a point. In 9 of his last 11 games he's played, he has at least 1 point, and that number is +145. We're going to take Yanni Gourde at +135 to get a point for Tampa. Love that number at +135, and 4 of his last 5 games against Florida, he has one. Hedman to get an assist. 9 of his last 12 games against Florida, he has cashed in. And the only one that I have bet in the late game is Jack Eichel +175 anytime goal.
Wow. Andrew McInnis. That was a lot of prop bets. Good luck, my friend. Thanks for doing this with us. Guys, you can see Andrew at 11 a.m. Eastern live every single day on WagerTalk TV. The show is called Puck Time. He does it with Carmine. I'm on today. It's a great show. Check it out. My best bet for today is Minnesota and Vegas under 5.5. Sorry about that. Oh, little haggard after 8 days of poker. Matthew Barnaby's sent in 3 plays: Carolina, Toronto, and Florida. Matthew will be on tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching The Blue Line, everybody. Don't bet like an idiot. Don't chase. Play smart. Play within your means. We'll see you tomorrow.